This episode is brought to you by Dr. Lourdes Capulong.
When you wanted to join the force, no pun intended, did anybody force you?
No one forced me. It was just something that, again, I'm surrounded by leaders, law enforcement officers, attorneys, just people who promoted law and order. I know that sounds like a movie, but honestly, that's what it was. So when I told my dad, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna join the police department," he actually wasn't even surprised. He was like, "Oh yeah, okay," like.
Like it was a natural, it was a natural step.
Yes, exactly. So when I joined, it was in 1990, where at the time I believe there's only maybe 10% females.
Right.
And again, that's something, 10% female. Okay, I'm going to try this because hardly anyone is doing it. And so I joined it, and yes, I was the shortest. I was at the end of the line, and I was the first female Filipina police officer in the history of the department. But I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that at the time, because we didn't even have a box.
And that wasn't even part of the reason, right?
Yeah, we were part of Asian American,
Yeah.
So when we finally got our box, Filipino, and they went through it, and I was the first one in 1990. So yeah, it was amazing. But at the time, I didn't even think anything of it, because, being a police officer, we're amongst so many, and we all do the same, and we go through the same training, and so to me, I was the same.
Have you seen the movie Training Day?
I did.
Is it real?
No. So you know what? I'm sure there are some departments that may have had those type of officers and those type of experiences. I don't know for myself. But one movie, I mean, I'm not plugging the movie, but End of Watch. Did you watch? Did you see that one? Did anyone see that? Okay. That movie was actually the most realistic movie.
It even made you go, oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I actually knew one of the advisors that helped out in that movie, because I was watching it and I was thinking, I remember that scene. It happened in real life. So in that movie, End of Watch, they chose some incidents that really happened in real life, and they put it all together and made it to where these couple of officers experience it themselves. But really, it was in a span of probably 20 years.
Condensed.
Yes, but a lot of it looked familiar to me because they were real incidents.
Are the days exciting all the time as a police officer?
I think so, and I wouldn't say so much exciting, but you never know what your day will be.
Like when they say if you're a police officer, a firefighter, a soldier, one foot's already in the grave.
Oh yeah, yes. My chances of being shot and killed are much greater than anyone else. As soon as I put that uniform on and I step out and I'm being seen in the public,
You're a target.
I'm a target, and I came on in the 90s, so in 1992 during the Rodney King riots, and then in 94 was when it really took off. We were all targets at that time, and I was a brand new police officer then. So seeing that and experiencing that, negative, positive. You know, I always think about, okay, what can I take out of this negative experience? And that event during the Rodney King riots was something that I said, you know what? I'm proud to be a police officer, because not all cops are bad, even though we hear that. But it gave us all a perspective and how to look at racism, and it taught us how to avoid having that happen again. So every bad experience is learning experience, and you know, it makes you a better person.
Right. Like you mentioned that, like racism, like racial profiling and all those things. My cousin was a detective in the LA, was it LAPD? Ambrosio, last name. I think San Diego or somewhere there. But he moved, and he said when he did the South Central at the time, and I go, why there? Because it's the quickest path to being a detective.
Yes.
And he goes, when you're there, you're obligated, as you approach a vehicle, you're obligated to actually put your hand by your holster right away.
Yes.
He's Filipino, and I'm like, isn't that offensive? And he's like, it has nothing to do with the person, it's just the neighborhood. But
Yes.
I don't understand. Maybe you can elaborate on when, like if you're in Santa Monica, you can knock on the door, you say, hey, excuse me, good morning. When you're in Watts, you can't do that.
Yes. Well, I worked in South Central LA as well. So the attitude there is different than where I work now, which is West LA, which is the West Side, Beverly Hills area, beautiful area. However, you can't be complacent.
There you
It
go.
really doesn't matter whether
Anywhere
it's-
you are, right?
Right. So you always have to go back to your training, because you always want to be prepared. So even if you're in a nice area and it looks beautiful, the grass is green, and there's no, it doesn't look like it's a bad area, it's not known to be in the gangs, you still want to approach and have that attitude that, you know, something could happen, the danger could be there. And with police officers, we have this intuition where if you approach a situation and you feel the hairs in the back of your head, you know, in the back of your neck come up, then you need to be always ready. With me as a police officer, and I think most police officers as well, when they're out, when they put on that uniform, we know, like you said, you have one foot in the grave. We know what the dangers are of just being an officer. So you always have to be ready. And nowadays, we know that it really doesn't matter if it's a nice area or not.
Right.
Things happen.
And they happen quick.
They happen quick, and they do happen in the nice areas. So you can't judge it that way. And the pandemic really, it gave everyone a different perspective on police officers and public safety issues.